I tell young men, well, and young women as well, but the young men really need to hear this more, I think, is that you should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no. Wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
Do you know the expression, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war?
Right, exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly right. And so when I tell young men that, they think, well, lots of them are competitive. They're low in agreeableness, you know, because that's part of being competitive temperamentally. It's like, is there something wrong with being competitive? There's nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with cheating. There's something wrong with being a tyrant. There's something wrong with winning unfairly. All of those things are bad. But you don't want people to win? What's the difference between trying to win and striving? You want to eradicate striving?
You gotta change that shit, man.
Yeah, but you don't understand my life, David.
Yeah, I do. So that's the thing about it. I get that mentality. I once had that mentality, that no one understands what the fuck I'm going through. And if you keep that mentality, you're gonna stay in the same exact spot that you're in. You're never alone. Everybody's going through shit. So when people get this mentality of like, you don't understand me, you can throw a fucking rock to someone that can understand you if they're willing to break themselves down and stop hiding. A lot of people understand you.
Get rich or die trying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I want to do. Either I'm going to get rich or I'm gonna die in the process.
Rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. That's a third of your life. It ain't but 24 hours in a day. You cannot be sleep 8 hours a day. You can't live in LA and wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. The stock market been open 2 hours. They already making decisions about your life and your ass was asleep.
Did a study of some top achievers and successful people around the world, and they wanted to find out what was the common denominator among them that enabled them to reach their goals. And what they discovered, that 85% of them reached their goals because of their attitude, their vision about themselves, and 15% because of their aptitude.
Don't complain. Don't talk negative. That's average people talk normal. Average people talk problems. The greats talk solutions.
Some people, when they're just watching you talk, they're only hearing you, they ain't listening.
Right.
There's a huge difference between hearing and listening and seeing and looking.
Let me tell you this. If you've made it through addiction or mental illness, you have something. Because a lot of people don't. If you are still kicking today, battling those demons, you have something. Because a lot of people didn't wake up today because they couldn't make it. They couldn't cut it, and you fucking did.
Usually, when you're the absolute best, you get hated on the most. But never stop fighting. No matter what anyone says, no matter how they try to compromise you, compromise your vision. If it's in your gut, if it's in your soul, there's no worldly possessions that should come between you and your expression. As a race, human beings, we're a blip in existence. Death is promised. So what do you do with your life? How do you make the most of it? How do you make your voice the loudest?
Let's say you're God, and we have a big, long line of people, and I made it to heaven. I'm 75 years old. I'm 300 pounds. I made it to heaven. I worked for Ecolab my entire life, spraying for cockroaches. That's what I did. But I'm dead. I'm in heaven now. And you're judging us all now. So we're in line. We're all sitting there in line. And you have Adam Brown. He has a big board up, and you're talking to Adam Brown about his life. And you rip it down, and I'm next in line, David Goggins. I see my name, and I see all this. God goes, hey, you say, read this, man. And I'm reading this list, and I'm seeing 182 pounds, Navy SEAL, Ranger School, motivational speaker, changing lives. Okay, man, pull-up record, all that. And I'm like, that's not me, man. And God looks at me and says, that's who you were supposed to be.
I don't want to be those things. I don't want to be like the people you're telling me I should be like. I want to drive Bugattis and Lamborghinis and be big and strong and be able to fight and have a bunch of money and a private jet and a yacht. I want to be Batman. I don't want to be a fucking dork.
None of the things you said are crazy. It's fascinating the way you think. Because I can see that you're thinking in all these different layers and you're looking at things from all these different perspectives, and they all come together out of your mouth in like a tornado of ideas. Now, if someone wants to just have a conversation with you back and forth, I could see where they would go, the guy's crazy. He just doesn't stop. He's just ranting. But what I'm seeing is just you're a very thorough thinker.
Yeah, you know, I just tell the truth, and telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies. That's simply it.
I should be a therapist. Come see me with your problems. I'm going to make you sit in front of a cancer patient and explain to them everything that's wrong with your life. And if you can manage to make that terminal cancer patient feel sorry for you, then you're allowed to be depressed. Otherwise, you have to shut the fuck up and get on with it. It's just garbage. Oh, you feel sad. Who said you were supposed to be happy? Nobody. Maybe we're all sad. Every day you get older. Every day you're going to get closer to death. You ran out of milk in the fridge. Your girlfriend doesn't love you. Who gives a shit? We're all sad. And fucking smile anyway.
Number 10, do not complain. I'm telling you right now, no one likes a complainer. If you're the type of person that complains, man, I'm not having a good day, things didn't work out for me, this went wrong, that thing happened. Listen, bro, don't be a complainer. I don't care if you're 15 or 25 or anywhere in between. Complaining is like kryptonite, man. It repels people away from you. Be a problem solver. Be an optimistic problem solver, right? You know how to be optimistic. You know how to solve problems. You know how to figure things out. The sad truth is, half the people are going to give you some bullshit sympathy when you complain, and the other half of the people are going to be secretly happy for you when you complain about your life's problems. And I don't want either. I don't want bullshit sympathy, and I don't want people to be happy for my misery. So why complain? If you are having life problems, don't complain. Instead, learn to solve problems. Learn to ask for help. Learn to figure things out. Learn to show up as an optimist and not a pessimist, because the optimistic problem solver who can figure things out is going to be like honey, man. You're just going to attract good people to you. And then the pessimistic complainer, the person who complains but never does anything about it, you're like kryptonite. You just repel people away from you. You're going to repel hot chicks. You're going to repel awesome dudes. You're going to repel future business partners. You're going to repel great karma. You're going to repel everything from you if you're a fucking complainer.
I always felt like I could do anything. That's the main thing people are controlled by. Thoughts, their perception of themselves. They're slowed down by their perception of themselves. If you're taught you can't do anything, you won't do anything. I was taught I could do everything. Go listen to all my music. It's the codes of self-esteem. It's the codes of who you are. If you're a Kanye West fan, you're not a fan of me, you're a fan of yourself. You will believe in yourself. I'm just the espresso. I'm just a shot in the morning to get you going, to make you believe that you can overcome that situation that you're dealing with all the time.
I call the rule 100, which is 100 primary actions, whether that's 100 minutes of content creation per day, 100 reach outs per day, $100 of ad spend per day. Like, you have to pick one of them, but 100 per day, and you do that for 100 days, and I promise you you'll be making six figures if you do.
My purpose in life isn't to be happy no more. That's what my purpose used to be, which is such a shitty aim in life. My aim in life, in totality, my whole purpose for existing in life was to be happy. And that's not my purpose anymore.
And now?
Yeah, my purpose now is to be useful. And so it doesn't make me useful to my wife to shame spiral on some shit like that. It makes me useful to my wife to show up for my wife and be stable for my wife when we take our kid to the children's hospital and she's tripping. And I happen to have a relationship with God that centers me at this point where I can be in an environment like that and be able to hold it down in that environment. So that's what my amends looks like today.